Pick your team. We have Freddie Freeman of the Braves, Daniel Johnson, RC of the Cleveland baseball team, going to Mr. CEO. Then we have Trevor Story, Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, of the Rockies, followed by Estevan Florial of the Yankees. And then it's going to be a little gray portrait, and that is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. And that is going to be going to Derek. Not planning on running a snake today, unless we have 8 people that would be interested in it, and then I can go look at what we could possibly do. Then we have the Elegance Trey Turner of the Washington Nationals going to Doug, followed up by Nick Matagrill of the Chicago White Sox going to Mr. CEO. And then we have George Brett of the Kansas City Royals going to Mr. CEO as well. Not planning on running that snake, but would love to fill that fast break, the Prism Fast Break 3-team random. There's 3 spots left. At 170, it's priced to move, and then you get 30% off of that. That brings it down to roughly $122. We have Alex Kirilloff, RC of the Twins, followed by Aaron Judge of the Yankees. Ian Anderson of the Atlanta Braves going to be going to Mikey, followed by Joey Votto of Cincinnati. Braxton Garrett of the Miami Marlins going to Mr. CEO. Then we have Greg Maddux, the club edition of the Braves, going to Mikey, followed up by Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds to Mr. CEO, and Ryan Mountcastle of the Baltimore Orioles going to Mr. CEO as well. And also our show has a hard stop at 1:30 today because we have a team meeting about the benefits that we have here at Breaktraders right after that. We have Babe Ruth of the Yankees, Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals going to Mikey, followed by Rogers Hornsberry of the Cardinals, Jose Ramirez of Cleveland, the Elegance Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers, which is now the Los Angeles Dodgers, heading to Mr. CEO, the Tyler Stevenson's Diamond Kings debut of the Cincinnati Reds, and then Mr. Cal Ripken of the Baltimore Orioles right there. And then it looks like we have our first memorabilia, and it is going to be an Alex Kirilloff rookie patch auto. The dual-colored patch of the Minnesota Twins going to Mike. And I know these Diamond Kings, again, aren't super valuable cards, but we've had some outrageously nice pulls with some of these rookie patch autos out of there over the last few weeks. All right, we have Bobby Delback of the Red Sox, followed by Cody Bellinger of the Angels. Then we have Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Brandon Lowe of the Rays, Pavin Smith of the Arizona Diamondbacks going to Mr. CEO. Then we have a filler right there, followed up by a Legacy Lithographs, Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers going to Mr. CEO. Al Kaline of the Tigers headed to Michael, and then Christian Pache of the Atlanta Braves, and that is going to be going to Michael as well. Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Keibert Ruiz of the Dodgers to Mr. CEO, Joe Sewell of Cleveland, Joey Bart of the San Francisco Giants, heading to Michael, followed up by Mikey Cochran of Philadelphia, the artist palette, Blake Schnell of the Padres going to Michael. Then we have a David Peterson, RC of the New York Mets to Mr. CEO, and Luen Diaz of the Marlins going to Mr. CEO as well. We have Lewis Robert of the White Sox, Keegan Aitken of the Baltimore Orioles, and that's going to Mr. CEO. Then we have Spencer Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies. Spencer Howard of the Phillies going to Doug, followed up by George Sisler of the Cardinals, Roberto Clemente of Pittsburgh. Then we have the Gallery of Stars, Roger Maris of the New York Yankees going to Derek, followed up by Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals going to Mikey, and Max Scherzer of the Washington Nationals going to Doug. Andy Young, RC of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that's going to Mr. CEO, followed by Chris Bryant of the Cubs, Jahmai Jones, RC of the Orioles, going to Mr. CEO, Joe Cronin of the Red Sox, and then we're going to have a little bit of that Diamond Kings debut, and that is the gray portrait, Tyler Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds, headed to Mr. CEO. Followed up by Albert Pujols of the Dodgers. Albert Pujols of the Dodgers going to go to Mr. CEO as well. Then we have Matt Chapman of the Oakland Athletics and Kyle Lewis of the Seattle Mariners. We have Luis Patino of the Tampa Bay Rays, RC, going to Doug, followed by Lou Gehrig of the Yankees, Bo Bichette of the Toronto Blue Jays, Manny Machado of the Padres, and a Mickey Moyniak, RC, of the Philadelphia Phillies. We have the filler right there. Then we have a legacy lithographs, Vlad Guerrero of the Montreal Expos, now the Washington Nationals, followed up by Alex Baum of the Philadelphia Phillies and Josh Fleming of the Tampa Bay Rays. We have Christy Mathewson of the New York Giants. The New York Giants, make sure that we sort that one correctly there, John. You may want to make a note of that. Christy Mathewson is a New York Giant, which is the San Francisco Giants. Then we have Lucas Giolito of the White Sox, Tony Gwynn of the Padres, Juan Soto of the Nationals, followed up by an aficionado, Nate Pearson of the Toronto Blue Jays. Then we have Jared Olivia of the Pittsburgh Pirates going to Doug, and a Drew Rasmussen, Diamond Kings debut, RC of the Milwaukee Brewers, headed to Mr. CEO. And then our memorabilia, this one going to be a Jersey Kings, Buster Posey of the San Francisco Giants going to Mike. Mike not having a bad break with his memorabilias, for sure. And we got 3 packs left in this one. Edward Olivares of the Kansas City Royals going to Mr. CEO. Harvey Kuhn of the Tigers, followed by Jorge Mateo of the San Diego Padres going to Michael. Joe Jackson of the White Sox, followed by Casey Mize, RC of the Detroit Tigers, headed to Michael. The Gallery of Stars, Bryce Harper of the Phillies, headed to Doug. Jimmy Fox of the Boston Red Sox and Walter Austin of the Angels. We have the Haesung Kim, RC of the Padres. Then we have Adonis Medina of RC of the Phillies, followed by Carl Erskine of the Brooklyn Dodgers, now the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yu Darvish of the San Diego Padres. And then we're going to have our plum portraits. This is a once in a box. And that's Jose Garcia of the Cincinnati Reds, RC, going to Mr. CEO. And then it is Mr. Pee Wee Reese. Pee Wee Reese of the Brooklyn Dodgers, now the Los Angeles Dodgers, going to Mr. CEO. That's artist proofs right there. We have the Diamond Kings debut, Christian Javier of the Houston Astros, going to Mr. CEO. And then Brady Singer of the Royals, and that is going to be going to Mr. CEO as well. Vlad Guerrero of Montreal, which is now the Washington Nationals. Pete Alonso of the Yankees. Christian Javier of Pete Alonso of the Mets, sorry about that. Christian Javier of the Astros. Eddie Stanky of the Dodgers. Cabrian Hayes of Pittsburgh. We have the filler card there, and underneath it is the club, Ken Griffey Jr. of Seattle, followed by Nick Montagrill of the Chicago White Sox. Nick Montagrill of the White Sox. And then we have Dean Kremer of the Baltimore Orioles, and that is going to be going to Mr. CEO. We have Dean Kremer of the Orioles, Nick Montagrill of the White Sox, Cabrian Hayes of Pittsburgh, Christian Javier of Houston, Brady Singer of Kansas City, Christian Javier, Diamond Kings debut of Houston, Adonis Medina of Philadelphia, Hyesung Kim of the Padres, Casey Mize of Detroit, Jorge Mateo of San Diego, Edward Olivares of Kansas City, the Diamond Kings debut, Drew Rasmussen of Milwaukee, followed by Jared Olivia of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Josh Fleming of the Tampa Bay Rays, Alex Baum of the Phillies. Then we have Mickey Moniak of the Phillies, Luis Patino of Tampa Bay, Jahmai Jones of the Orioles, Andy Young of Arizona, Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals, followed by Spencer Howard of Philadelphia, Keegan Akin of the Orioles, Luis Diaz of Miami, David Peterson of the Mets, Joey Bart of the Giants, Kyber Ruiz of the Dodgers, followed by Christian Pache of Atlanta, Pavin Smith of Arizona, Bobby Dalbec of Boston, Tyler Stevenson of Cincinnati, Dylan Carlson of St. Louis, Ryan Mountcastle of Baltimore, Tyler Stevenson of Cincinnati, Braxton Garrett of Miami, Ian Anderson of Atlanta, Alex Kirilloff of Minnesota, Nick Montagrill of the Chicago White Sox, Estevan Florial of the Yankees, and Daniel Johnson of Cleveland. And then our portraits, we're going to have Aaron Judge and Tyler Stevenson, and then Jose Garcia. Tyler Stevenson of the Reds going to be going to Mr. CEO. Aaron Judge of the Yanks to Derek, and Jose Garcia of the Reds as well going to Mr. CEO. And then we have two memorabilias. We have a Jersey Kings and a rookie patch auto. The rookie patch auto of the Minnesota Twins, Alex Kirilloff, going to Michael. And then we have Buster Posey of the San Francisco Giants going to Michael as well. And there we have it, folks. That is the end of break number 1010. We'll be right back from the hardwood.